whatever. It's I think it's technically Saturday. It's Saturday, 12/12. So it's not Friday. It's Friday night, Saturday morning, but it's Saturday morning because it's 12/12. Right? That means it's Saturday, I think. I wrote down a bunch of stuff, but I was in a different mood when I was writing that stuff. I mean, I might use it later, but now I'm in I don't know. It was an angrier mood earlier, and now it's more of a, I don't know what sort of mood. It doesn't matter, really, does it? So I guess I'll go downtown. 2-hour, 3-hour walk, 2-hour, maybe come back on Railroad Road. So what was do you have any ideas you have to do? You thought you had these great ideas, and now they don't seem that good. They never do. 75% on the battery, I think. You didn't charge the phone, dude. You only charged it for an hour. You only got 75%. You're fucked. So I re-downloaded Hoi 4, and then I got the Road to 56 mod, and they really changed the game. Since the last time I played Road to 56, it's a different, because they changed the game a lot. I could kill some time doing that, but it's a waste of time. I mean, it's no more of a waste of time than doing this, but at least with this I'm getting some cardio, I guess. But you know, Road to 56, baby. That's not that interesting. I need to get black ice to work on that thing. Black ice, that's hard shit. You wanna challenge. Play yourself some black ice. I can't. I've never even tried to invade the Soviet Union playing black ice. I got through France. I don't know, did I invade Britain? I don't think I could invade Britain. I could never get my sea lion to work. But I could get through. France is always a pushover. They're always a joke, so. And then I didn't want to go to war with Russia. This is too big. Too big, too vast. Too vast, too big. So I think the times I played Black Ice, it'd be like 44, and I never went to war with the Soviet Union. I just built a bunch of refineries. And then I couldn't invade Britain, so I'd just be like sitting on mainland Europe with like maybe 100,000 dead. You know, I owned all of, Europe. Not all of it, but, France. And, it was like 44. I had a pretty big Air Force. And I think I was trying to U-boat the shit out of the middle. And I could never get enough, U-boating or whatever. I don't know. That was like a year ago? Probably a year ago. When was the last time I played Black Ice? I build like naval patrol vehicles. Yeah, that's a lame ass. It's a mod that makes the game so fucking harder. It's so much harder. You have to have like engine factories, and you have to have like, in the generic game, you just build whatever. You just have a factory. A factory is a factory. In this one, you have to have engines for your planes, and you have to have engines for your tanks. I mean, they simplify it. I mean, not all engines are created equal, right? But you get what I mean. A factory is a factory. Kind of true, kind of not true. That's not really a joke, that's just... Yes, I used to, for a second I thought I was going to be a comedian, and then I realized, I don't have any funny jokes. I'm just here to... what was that analogy you had in your head? I see myself as like Jodie Foster in the movie Contact. I was thrown into a sphere and dropped into some sort of weird thingy, and I'm just falling through a sphere. I need to, for this joke to work, I'd have to I needed to use like a better word. Thrownness. The German word for thrownness would work well in this joke. Maybe not. Droppedness. Is there thrownness? Thrownness. Thrown into existence. It's a Heidegger term. This one was going to be dropped into existence. Because she is dropped in a sphere. In some sort of weird spinny thing. I don't know. You have to see the movie Contact. What percentage of people have seen the movie Contact? No one's gonna see. These stories are just like, they're too, no one's gonna understand these jokes. Stories. They're stories, they're not jokes, but whatever. Droppedness, thrownness. I mean, I had some better. Those were not the angry. The angry jokes were about Epstein, because I'm still doing Epstein jokes in my head. I can't help it. It's Epstein. I mean, one of them was actually decent. I had one decent, maybe decent joke. I don't know. It's not even a good joke, actually. Damn it. See, the premise of the joke was going to be like, yeah, look, I went to Epstein Island. And look, I don't want to sound like Cool Hand Luke or anything, but I fucked and killed 50 hookers. I ate 50 hookers at Epstein Island. You know, you people have no right to judge me or Donald Trump or any of the people who went to Epstein Island. You know, you have no right to judge. You know, my stomach hurts. You know how hard it is to eat 50 hookers? I have stomach pains to this day. Look, I'm not Joey Chestnut, okay? It's hard to do this shit, you know. It's hard to eat 50 hookers. You know, it stretches your stomach and stuff, you know. Look at that Joey Chestnut is a professional chestnut eater. See, I'm half obsessed with this. Like, why do you give a shit what the billionaires do at Epstein? I don't get it. Like, the whole point of being a billionaire is to go to Epstein Island and do whatever the fuck you want. And now all of a sudden everyone's like, you want to be a billionaire, you can go to Epstein Island and do whatever the fuck you want. And now everyone's all pissy about it. What the fuck? Why do you care? I mean, the whole point of life is to go to Epstein Island. And now you people want to shit all over Epstein Island. You know, you could do like a Beach Boys joke, you know, but you'd have to learn different parts of Epstein Island. You know, it's Aruba, Jamaica, ooh, I want to take you to, but you'd have to, you know, put Epstein Island. Does he have more than one island? Was it just one island? Okay, this joke does not work. The other huge disclaimer is I just have to walk, or I think I'm gonna go crazy. So even if this is unentertaining, which it is, I agree 100%. You know, I just have to get some exercise, or I don't know. I'll have to go play Road to 56 for 3 or 4 hours, or try and figure out a way to get black. I couldn't find a black ice mod that would work with my current version, so if you're asking me why I'm walking, it's because I can't get black ice to work. So, it's not that funny. Also, you know, you'll get a headache playing that shit. I'm getting a headache for some reason. I wonder if the mayor gave me cancer or something, or Hillary Clinton, or Obama, Trump. I was watching a video this morning. I came in at like 5 or 6 or 7 from biking, and Donald Trump was like, "I don't sketch or doodle," and they have like direct evidence that he sketches and doodles. And I was just like, he's gonna sue the Wall Street Journal or something. And I was just like, oh my god, you know, I don't care that he fucked 1,000 hookers. It's the direct lying part. It's like, come on, like, hey, look, there's a skyscraper over there. It's, it's kind of unnerving to have someone just lie to your face so blatantly and so flippantly. I mean, come on. I don't know. Very nervous. Makes me very nervous, actually. I mean, I'm assuming those were real. What if, before I started talking, I was walking here for 2 minutes. I was thinking, you always hear this stat of like Americans are really fat. I haven't gone and done a BPI. What is it called? What is it called where you take the weight of somebody and then you divide it by their height, and then you put a tape measure around their waist, and then you're like, are you fat? BPI, body mass index, BMI. I haven't BMI'd Americans, but the liberal media tells me you're all fat. But what if that was a lie? What if, you secretly were all like 10% body fat, and they really were lying? Like, your average American is 10% body fat, in amazing shape. That'd be kind of scary. That'd be some pretty hardcore gaslighting, right? Like, and then I was watching that YouTube video, and they were saying that Donald Trump sold sketches he made, little doodles. And he says he doesn't doodle, but he sold doodles at a charity auction, so. But then that could be a lie. It could be just like the, the BMI. And then the whole thing becomes, what the fuck is the truth? I mean, you'll never know what the truth is. So, whatever. I have a man crush on Brock Lesnar. Not because I've never met him, I never will meet him, but you can look at him and go, hey, that guy could kill me in 30 seconds. If there's this famous movie by like Ingrid Bergman or something. It's like a Swedish movie. There's this knight and he's playing chess against the deaf guy, the guy with who the little guy who has a reaper and he wears a black hood. That guy, and he's playing chess against him, and he's like, if you lose, you die. And I'm trying to take that story and make it more applicable for today. So you take your average American and you say, hey, you're in a UFC fight against Brock Lesnar and he wants to kill you. How long could you last against Brock Lesnar before he kills you? Because he would put his arm around your throat, and then the blood to your brain would stop, and then you would no longer have consciousness because, I mean, I'm assuming he can beat 99% of people that way, right? I mean, so it's kind of like an Ingrid Bergman, whatever that movie's about where you play chess. You're not going to beat Brock Lesnar in a fight. Can you last 5 minutes? Can you last a minute? Can you last 3 minutes? Can you last 10 minutes? He's going to choke you out and you're going to die. But, can you last 10 minutes before he chokes you out? Can you last 30 seconds? 10 seconds? 1 second? And then you get the gaslighters coming in. I don't doodle. I told you I respect Brock Lesnar, but I can't respect this. Hey, look, there's a skyscraper over there. What? Come on, man. Come on. There's no skyscraper over there. There's some trees. What are you talking about? There's no trees. There's skyscrapers over there. Oh my God. Statistically, actually, Brock Lesnar is in the bottom half percentages of fighters in the United States. There are 350 million people living in the United States. Let's say half of them are males, so that's 150 plus 25, 175. He is in the bottom half of fighters in the U.S. Over half of people in the U.S. can beat him in a fight. So, it's a little known fact. The liberal media has told you some pretty big lies. Is he even relevant anymore, or was he relevant back in like 2005? I'm assuming he's still relevant. He would still be able to beat 98% of people in a fight. If there's 175 million males in the US, what percentage of those could he beat in a fight? I'm assuming like 99, 98, I don't know. Whoever the relevant heavyweight champion of the fighting thingy is. Rough crossing. I'm getting dropped here in a sphere. I'm in the movie Contact. Where the fuck am I? In an alien universe. Wormholes? Plot holes. More like plot holes. Split roast. He had a Epstein joke about split roasting because, split roasting is when you take like a chicken and you put it over a fire. But split roasting is also a word for one cock in the mouth and one in behind, right? It's a split roast. So I went to Epstein Island. I split roast the lady, and then I split roast her and ate her too. So it's funny to me, not funny to anyone else. Yeah, that cop pulled me over 2 days ago. Said I was crying. I had been biking for an hour and a half. I don't cry when I bike. Sometimes when I walk, I've maybe done it once or twice. But it's because I'm trying to think of a memory. I'm trying to put a memory into a context where I don't come off as like the worst human being ever. Because that's the worst thing in the world, like imagine you have a memory and you're like, holy shit, I'm like the worst human being ever. You gotta protect yourself from yourself, you know what I mean? But I was sweating for an hour and a half. If anything, I was in Creekwood, and I think I was angry about something, and then it's hard to memories, they kind of come and they're like drugs, you don't even remember half the shit. It's kind of moodish, and you can't remember any of it. And but I'm pretty sure I was angry like 3 minutes before I came to that intersection, and then because I was thinking, as long as you take your anger out on pedals on a bike, you really can't get in trouble for that, right? Like, and then I looked at the video, and I was safe. I stopped at the red light. I turned right, and then I darted over into another neighborhood. But he said I was recklessly crying, and then I went and listened to the video, and I was like moaning with tears. I was wailing. It was like the Wailing Wall. I was like Jewish, wailing at a wailing wall on my bike. Very sad. I didn't even realize it. So my brain was going, one of two things is going on here. This is how my brain works. I was going, he's being a bully, right? Like, I've Googled this before. How many cops per 1,000 people? The city of Florence has 40,000 people in it. The FBI says there are on average 2.2 cops per 1,000 people. So that means there's 80 cops in Florence, rough number. 40,000 times 2 is 80. So somewhere between 50 and 100 probably. And to me, the cops are just another gang. They're like the Bloods, the Crips. They're the MS-13, They walk around with their guns. They think they own this place. Which, maybe they do, maybe they don't. I don't know. But they're probably the most well-armed gang in Florence. A lot of vehicles. I wonder what their motor pool is like. Do you think they have like 100 vehicles, 50 vehicles? Oh well. What was the name of that bike show? You Googled that. It was, I can't even remember the name of it now. They biked around on bikes. It was not that. One episode has Sable in prison as a lesbian. So Sable as a lesbian in prison. Kind of cool. What else? I didn't Google who was the criminal who got crucified. I didn't Google that. I should have Googled that. I didn't Google names of birds. I did write down, Casey Anthony. I wrote down Casey Anthony, and I wrote down the kid's name. Maybe that'll be appropriate later. I'm burping. I'm trying to burp. I'm not crying. I'm trying to burp. I can't burp. What else you got? Yeah, I wrote down a bunch of shit, actually. I was in a creative mood, and then I lost it. It comes and it goes. Like the tide, it comes in and it comes out. Do 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 do. Did you eat anything? I think all I had was like some Little Debbie's. I do not have the correct amount of protein in my belly to do this walk. I'm going to be starving when I get back. Yeah, all I've got is Little Debbie's. You could stop at like is it Royal Street? Is that gas station open 24/7? You could go in there and get some protein maybe. Or is there any protein downtown? It's like 12:30. It'll be like 1:30 when you get down there. Is there any protein down there? Is there any place I can get protein? That Whataburger, right? They have protein. You get protein there. Where else can you get? That's expensive. That's like $10 though, right? It's like 15 for a combo, I bet. Just a hamburger would be like 8. Maybe they have like one of them vans or one of them burrito trucks. Hey, ice. I've never seen that before. They brought an ice machine down to the park. I'd go in there. I bet it's locked, right? There's locks on this, I bet. Oh, it's not locked. I didn't do that. There's free ice. Free ice if you want. I didn't open that. I shouldn't have done that. Now my fingerprints are on there. Fuck. Why did I do that? Idiot. You could just edit that out. Whatever. It's for the football people, probably? I don't know. You should lock that up. Ice is like $3 a bag, right? I was watching something on Yeti coolers, and these people will take a Yeti cooler and they'll try and see how long it lasts. It's supposed to last like a week. I don't get it. I mean, I think I did that joke before. I don't know. I mean, did I bring my flashlight with me or not? I thought I had a flashlight on me. Yeah, I do. Just making sure. Do 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 da do da. I do enjoy this one guy made a ghetto Yeti cooler. He took like a plastic bin, he put a cooler in it, and then he filled it with foam, like a plastic Rubbermaid. Because I'm not paying $300 for a Yeti cooler. There's something admirable about trying to, get the Yeti experience without paying Yeti prices. I have no desire to pay $300 for a cooler. Man, you people have disposable income. I have a $20 cooler. It's a red one. Man, you people have money to burn. Huh. You people. At a certain point, isn't it just cheaper to buy like a mini fridge or something, or a generator? I mean, it's their money. They can do whatever they want with it, I guess. And it's kind of cool because I think what they do is it's got, like a thermos is like an air vacuum, right? Does the igloo thingy, does the Yeti have some sort of air vacuum in it? So it costs a lot of money because it's really hard to make, probably. Because it's got a vacuum inside of it, probably. Oh man. Oh man, what else you got? I actually have quite a bit. It's just I get in the mood, you know. There's a Bo Burnham. I listened to Bo Burnham in like 2015 or 2016. I didn't hate him. I didn't like him. I mean, some of his jokes were okay. One of the jokes I remember thinking he stole. Look, I like his comedy for the most part. I mean, not a singy, dancey person, but he has a joke about, I think it's sucking the devil's cock. And my first thought was, it reminded me of this Bill Hicks joke about sucking the devil's cock. And then he was making fun of like New Kids on the Block, because Bill Hicks was famous around the first Gulf War back in '90, and he hated New Kids on the Block. And he did these really funny jokes. He did these funny voices. He'd be like, he tried to do like a devil impression. I can't do it. Go Google it. You know, and it's of the Bill Hicks jokes I've ever heard. I'm not a huge Bill Hicks fan, but that's one of the jokes I kind of like of his. Just the idea of but it's a Faustian story, right? It's just Faust. It's I mean, he didn't create that idea. Marlowe, Goethe. You know, it's not. He didn't come up with the idea of sucking the devil's dick to be successful or something. People have been doing that idea for a long time, probably. You know, Caesar sucked the devil's dick to become Caesar, right? Probably. Probably true. For thousands of years, man has been claiming that other people have been sucking the devil's dick to get the power that they have. Probably. That probably is true, actually. Oh, well, so my joke was, you know, New Kids on the Block. Most of them became irrelevant, but Mark Wahlberg was in New Kids on the Block. And then there was NSYNC. NSYNC, I was born in '86, so I knew more about NSYNC. And I never bought their albums, but I knew their songs, right? I mean, I vaguely know about New Kids on the Block. I've Googled, I know, but I don't, I was like 5 or 6 when that was relevant, right? I mean, what year did that song come out? You know, you take the year I was born and then you figure out what year that song came out. I'd been 7, 8. I don't know what year it came out. But you know, I was like a freshman or a sophomore. You know, Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, they were around when I was in middle school and high school, so I know more about them. Not because I had a poster on the wall. I mean, I didn't. But you know, the NSYNC they all became irrelevant except for Justin Timberlake. And then Backstreet Boys, I think they all became irrelevant. I think they all ate themselves. NSYNC, Justin Timberlake ate the other NSYNCers. Mark Wahlberg killed all the people in New Kids on the Block, and he ate them. You know, because none of them, I don't think any of them became famous except for him, right? Yeah. But Backstreet Boys, no one became famous in there. And then Beyonce, she comes from Destiny's Child. She ate Destiny's Child. She killed the other members of Destiny's Child. And, you know, et cetera, et cetera. How does this joke go anywhere? Then you connected this to a 9/11 joke because Mark Wahlberg was supposed to be on the airplane that crashed into one of them boxes, right? And so your joke was going to be, you know, I'm a time traveler. You might not know this. I'm actually responsible for 9/11. I was on that plane that Mark Wahlberg was supposed to be on. Let me tell you, as a person who's lived a very weak life, you know how powerful I felt with my box cutter? You know how powerful me and my gang felt? That hour, that 30 minutes that we had that plane, we were holding box cutters, you know, and he thinks he could have taken our gang. I ran a tight gang. We had a tight gang of box cutting experts. We all practiced box cutting every night. We were like fencers, but with box cutters. We would have fucked his shit up. Let me tell you that, Mr. Mark Wahlberg. You think you're a badass? You think you would have stopped it? Nah, we would have fucked you up, buddy. So that's my beef with Mark Wahlberg, who thinks he could have taken the plane back. You wouldn't have. I was there. I led that gang, okay? I was there. You know how powerful we felt holding those box cutters? We told those idiots that we just wanted money. Those idiots. Oh well. So where does this joke go? It was a Faust joke. I took 3 years of German in high school. The only thing I remember is I was supposed to translate like a little mini pamphlet of Faust. That's the only reason I know what Faust is. So is that good or bad? I don't know. It's a good important story though, you know. Marlowe, Goethe. Goethe's supposed to be the Shakespeare of Germany or something. Don't ask me, I can't read that shit. Yeah, and the reason I was thinking about this is, you know, Epstein Island, and you know, it's a story as old as time, you know. You know, you people have no right to judge Donald Trump for what he did. You know, you weren't even on his level, okay? I killed and ate 50 hookers. You know how many hookers he killed and ate? Do you know how many? I'm not going to tell you if I told you, you know. Obama, you know how many hookers he killed and ate? Do you know how many hookers Hillary Clinton killed and ate at Epstein Island? They were all there. I mean, come on. You guys know that, right? Like, No, you don't know that. You're idiots. You're literally idiots. Sometimes I feel like I'm surrounded by retards, and then I remember, you know, I'm not that good at this world, so maybe I'm an idiot. I don't know. Hard to know. Are these people just falling for retarded shit? Is the Epstein Island kind of like the Hulk Hogan dropping a leg drop on people? Like, you people want to be fooled, right? Like, you don't want to know what reality is, right? Like, you want to live in the fantasy world of Epstein and Hulk Hogan hulking up. You know, it's a fake world. You don't want to live in it. I don't know. Am I living in the real world? I mean, I'm walking around. I'm a crazy person walking around at night. Am I sane or are you sane? Who's the sane one here? I can't tell. Nice lights. Actually, that's not bad. Huh. What was the Casey Anthony joke about? Yeah, I don't want to do that. That one doesn't fit in. What else did you write down? You were really in a little. You wrote down like half a sheet of shit, right? Huh. This is the part where I get angry and I'm like, you weren't even allowed to, you shouldn't even be allowed to make eye contact with Donald Trump. He is so much better than you people. He's literally, you know, I should have looked this up. Is it Louis the Sun King? Who is the French king? You know, he was divinely ordained to be king. All right, who are you to challenge Donald Trump? You people, you have no right, you nobodies, you disgusting nobodies. The Sun King, Louis the 14th, maybe? You should have Googled that before you walked. Still don't know who was the British king that America rebelled against. I don't know. And then I was thinking about wrestling again, because, wrestling, people say it's fake. But here's the thing about wrestling. It's actually kind of crazy. The first WrestleMania was, I'm going to guess, in like 1980, 85, somewhere between 80 and 85. So it's a recent development, like, I'm as old as WrestleMania, probably, ish. Like, I'm within, 3 to 5 years of WrestleMania's birth. I'm a coeval of WrestleMania. Technically, I've never seen a WrestleMania, but I know they're a big deal. Hulk Hogan slams Andre the Giant. Mr. T. There's a lot of famous people come on there, It's a big deal. And it's a coeval of mine because it was born within 5 years of my birth. I'm guessing. I'm assuming it started in 85, 83, 87, somewhere in there. So, and then people are like, wrestling is fake. I mean, I guess it's kind of fake, but it's not fake. How is something that's like 40-ish years old? I don't know how old. Somewhere in there, right? How is that still, if it's fake, how come it's still here? Movies are fake. Does anyone go, movies are fake? Not really. Wrestling is fake. Yeah, it's fake, and movies are fake. Most of this world is kind of fake. No offense. There's a lot of fakeness in this world. Did you know that Al Pacino is not really a Cuban guy who came to America and sold a lot of cocaine? He's not really Scarface. Did you know that, and then you just go through actors, you name their role. Did you know Keanu Reeves was not actually in The Matrix? Yeah, movies are fake. I mean, I'm not pro wrestling, I'm just saying it's interesting. How would you get people engaged in that? How do you get people to give a shit? Hulk Hogan doing a leg drop, and it's not real, but for some reason people care, right? Like, or whoever the relevant wrestler of today is. So there is something going on there. The question is, relevancy. It's movies. Why do people watch movies? Why do people, read stories? I don't want to sound like Jordan Peterson here and start talking about the hero's journey or something like that, but, you people need stories, I guess. I heroically went to Epstein's Island, and I ate my 50 hookers. It was part of my hero's circle journey. Do 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 do. Yeah, and then I did this whole joke. I've done this joke before, but it doesn't matter. It's called the NWO Hulk Hogan joke. Do you know who caused 9/11? Hulk Hogan. Osama bin Laden saw that, in 95, 96, somewhere in there, Hulk Hogan went from being a face to a heel. He betrayed America. He joined the globalist elitists. He became a member of the NWO. He joined the Illuminati, and he went around causing havoc. No one remembers that. People think he's a hero, but he's not. He's actually one of the most evil men who's ever existed. The way him and the outsiders, they came into the establishment and caused havoc. I don't know. He spray painted the belt. Ooh. I mean, in hindsight, it's all made up, but whatever. People who care about Epstein are the same people who care about the NWO. It's Eric Bischoff was behind it, right? It wasn't real. Hulk Hogan was still being paid by the WCW, right? The really embarrassing thing is like the WCW was like winning for a while, and the WWF tried to do this thing where like they would invade the WCW, and when you hear them talk about it, they'll be like, they drove a tank up to a WCW stadium. It was a Jeep. How do you mix up a Jeep and a tank? It was a fucking World War II Jeep. I mean, oh my... First off, it's probably very hard to get a tank. You know, they probably do. You probably can rent one. But imagine if I drove around the city in a tank. I can't do that, right? I'm going to get pulled over pretty fast because tanks weigh probably at least 20 tons. Now, I can drive around in a World War II Jeep because a World War II Jeep is actually a pretty light vehicle. But, you know, they tried to emulate the whole invasion thingy, but don't ask me, it doesn't make any sense. Why would you call it a tank? Something about that just, ugh. You drove up to it with a Jeep. Ugh. You know, like a Jeep weighs like, I'm gonna guess like a normal 30-ton, 20-ton tank. There's like 10 Jeeps per tank. And that's not an Abrams weighs like 50, 60. You know, a World War II Patton or a... it wasn't a Patton, it would have been a Sherman or a... You know, it would have weighed 30, 40 probably. And then a Jeep weighs, you know... I bet 10 healthy males could pick up a Jeep, maybe. I don't know. They could tip one over. I don't think you could tip a tank over with 10 people. There's a, you know, it's like saying $10 versus $1 million. There's a big difference between $10 and $1 million. A Jeep and a tank. I mean, they're both vehicles. Oh, well, the NWO, you know, that ruined America. And Hulk Hogan sold out the soul of America. And that's why everything's fucked up. It's not Clinton's fault. It's not Bush's fault. It's not, you know, Obama, Biden. It's all Hulk Hogan's fault. Do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. He did play that. He played some pretty good Jimi Hendrix there. That's a pretty good song. Oh, and this isn't really that connected. Buff Bagwell's losing his leg. That's what YouTube told me. I got the dirt. YouTube told me that Buff Bagwell's losing his leg. He was a drunk, and he got into a car accident, and he crushed his kneecap, and he caused like $300,000 worth of damage in a mall. He's like really old now too. He's like 50 or 60, and they're gonna have to amputate his leg. So everyone pray for Buff Bagwell, or don't. I don't really give a shit. Poor Buff Bagwell. He got caught up in that NWO shit. It's Hulk Hogan's fault. A lot of people don't realize it. If Hulk Hogan would not have created the NWO, Buff Bagwell would still have his leg. I wonder if he's lost his leg yet. Is he gonna lose his leg? I only watched like 5 minutes of that video. Did he lose his leg yet, or is he gonna lose his leg? I'm Buff, and I'm got no leg. I mean, he was drinking and driving. It sounds like he could have killed somebody if, you know, if he was... It's a pretty bad car accident when you drive through A mall? What the hell? There's some light over there that's flashing. Someone's having a party. I'm Buff and I'm the stuff. I think he was a stripper for a while. He was like I think I heard that. Poor Buff. Do 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 do. Is there a Casey Anthony joke in there? Doesn't fit yet, right? What fits? Do you have a light up here you can look at? Know thy nature. What did I write down? Do you have anything to remember that you don't remember? That's yesterday. New Kids on the Block, tire, fire, weight. Oh, okay, yeah, I remember that one. Okay, that one works. You did that one. When did you do these? Joey Chestnut, he thought that was funny. Destiny Child, yeah. Yep, you already went through everything except for mayor hanging people? What was the mayor hanging people joke? I don't know, the mayor's gonna hang people? So you get a DUI and he hangs people? I don't remember how it was like 3 hours ago. I don't remember how I got there. And he was gonna point at mayor signs and be like, this guy says he'll hang this many people. You know, he pulls a lever. I don't think the mayor does that. Littering. You could hang people for littering. I'm the mayor of Florence and I hang people for... You get some litter on the ground. Whoever did that's gonna get hung by the mayor. I don't know. I'm low on ideas. I apologize. Devil sucking the dick joke. Faust. What else you got? You had something else. You had more energy earlier. What happened to the energy, man? You know, if you had energy, these jokes would be better. New Kids on the Block sucked a lot of dick. Boy bands make me sick. I think it's Eminem or something, right? Mark Wahlberg. Oh well, so 90% of the population is actually in amazing shape. 10% body fat. I don't know. That's Donald Trump never doodles, and there's not a look at that. Look over there. There's a skyscraper. Look at that grass on the ground. You know, there's that scares me. It scares me that someone can just like, and then they're gonna sue over it. Like, you know, I'm walking on a skyscraper right now, and if I have enough money to sue people, I can be like, they said he was walking on a skyscraper. He was not walking on a skyscraper. He was walking on a road. But if you have enough money, you can just force people to say whatever the fuck you want. You know, that's kind of a scary thought. ADV1. Okay, so this is a cop joke again, because I always got to do cop jokes. There's 80 cops, so 1v1, I think I could take most cops in a fight. I can't take 80 people at once. I'm not fucking Neo, okay? I can't do the Agent Smith thing where there's like 10 of them on me and I magically push them all off. I mean, technically, you probably can't even take one because you don't even have a gun or a taser or some mace. They have mace, taser, and a gun. But 1v1 in a physical fight, I think I could. So if a cop pulls me over and does that disrespectful fucking cunt prissy voice thing, I'll just say, hey, how about you take this sheriff badge off? You know, because I'm not scared of the person. I'm just scared of the gang. It's about gang colors these days, you know. So many gangs. Gotta be careful of them gangs. How about this, buddy? You take the badge off, you take the shirt off, you put some normal clothes on. You lay a hand on me and we'll see what happens there, buddy. But no, that's not how the world works. I wonder if they could arrest you for saying that. Is that technically fighting words? You know, I don't know. I actually don't know, and I'm not that smart. I know the best thing to say is to just say, am I free to go? You just repeat that. I'm going to say that in a very monotonous and kind of agitated tone, like, you know, I gotta express that. I gotta express my dislike of being harassed by some NPC fucking robot. You know how they have those movies where like they find out that the black people in the gang are just scared. All cops are actually just scared African Americans joining a gang, you know. And I'm the white guy. I got the white man's burden. I gotta teach them their place in life, you know. The gang is not gonna save you. I mean, it technically will. I'm gonna be walking around one night and there's a SWAT guy on the police team. Bam, right to my head. You know, they say gangs can't protect you. Sometimes they can. And I'm gonna learn that lesson. But I'm not gonna hear it. It's just gonna be, you know, it's gonna be like a Sopranos ending. I'm just gonna be walking around. Bam. Sniper shot to the head. Oh, well, the white man's burden. It's a lot of effort. You know, you have all these African American cops. They think that, you know, being part of a gang is going to save them, and it isn't. White man's burden, man. White man's burden. Huge disclaimer, just so that we're on the same. All humans come from Africa. I've said this a million times. All human beings are technically niggers. So, you know, when a cop pulls you over, just remember, it's a nigger in a gang, scared out of their mind. You know, they're just, they're just as bad as the Crips and the Bloods and the MS-13s. Just a bunch of niggers. 7 billion niggers. 8 billion. You know, white man's burden. White man's burden. It's so hard to have the white man's burden. I think you're misusing that term. I think they meant it as like a racist thing. And you're taking it and you're reappropriating it to mean I'm surrounded by 8 billion, 9 billion degenerate retards. And I have the white man's burden. So it's a lot of work, you know, a lot of work. $80 people. You can't take 80 people. Even if they are immoral. I mean, part of me thinks that guy was bullying me. That's why it irks me. You know, it irks me to think this guy thinks he can get away with that. You know, because, I'm biking around. I'm minding my own business. I haven't stolen anything. I mentally steal. I don't physically steal. I have no intention of, physically assaulting anyone. Unless they attack me first. And then I'll try and delay the fight the same way that knight did against death. You know, it's a lot of work. You got to play that game out. Hope you don't die. 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute. It's going to be 3 seconds. They're going to the bullet's going to be in the air for 2 seconds. You won't even hear it. It's going to hit your head. It's going to be like JFK, right? his brains were on it's gonna be right here. My brains on the ground. Thank you, Florence Sniper Man. Whatever your name is. Do a diagram. All 80 people. It's a lot of work. That's way too much work. Then you'd have to find out, if you're gonna do that, you'd have to do way too much work, and I'm too lazy to do that, so fuck that shit. Do 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 do. Yeah, you do sweat a lot. Holy moly. What if you gaslit yourself into thinking sweating was, you did that joke already, right? Like the NBA players. They go up and down the NBA court. They're actually crying. The football players playing football, crying. All sports now are, it's an amusing idea. I mean, I do have the monotone voice going, right? I think they think, if you listen to this for like 5 minutes, you're going to be like, oh, he's got a monotone voice. And monotone voice is normally a sign of, they call it bluntedness. I smoke too many blunts. Blunts. Toy taxi. Piercings. ATM. So my initial idea was I was going to do all those early jokes, and then I was going to just turn it into an ASMR video where I just go around going, tax mart, concrete ground. You could still do that. It could still work. Smoothie shake ice sundae, Aki Northside Nutrition chair, speaker, neon lights, LED lights. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Rotten. Ritz Theater something rotten. Oh, I thought it was a potato. I was like, I want to eat a potato. It's not a potato. It's something rotten. I want a potato with barbecue on it. I think they're closed. I don't think you can get a potato with barbecue on it. That'd be really good though. Oh my God, is Walk and Roll open? It's like 1 o'clock, 1:30. Probably not. It is 1:11. If you had come here maybe an hour and a half earlier, you could have gotten some chicken and rice. That'd be pretty good. Here's the area. I found a nitrous bottle. Can I make this? I'm gonna let this guy go first. It's a cop car. Speaking of Satan himself. It's gonna get pulled up. If I get pulled over for this, is that technically you did just walk in front of a cop? Is that technically jaywalking? Probably. One for one SUV. How many trucks? How many SUVs? Do. Hiring employees, all shifts. Fallout 4, Radiant Quests. Radiant Quests are quests they just make up as they go. They already know they're going to fire the people as fast as they come in. So they don't even take the sign down. It's just radiant quests. Radiant quests, radiant quests, radiant, radiant, radiant quests. Yeah, I was thinking of Donald Trump and how, he can just say whatever the fuck he wants. And no one's going to do anything to him. And I was thinking, there's a higher than should be chance that this world is literally a video game. And I'm an NPC, and he's like the real person. And he can do whatever the fuck he wants. And he goes and gets like one of them. You know how you get the 5-star or the 4-star in GTA? He just goes to a paint shop. He went from 5 stars to 2 stars. He can literally just do whatever the fuck he wants. But it's a video game. This isn't real, right? Like, no one's gonna hold him accountable. It's not a dog's life. There's a Christian movie called It's a Dog's Life, and it's about how you have to know your place in life. And in this one, I'm going to make a movie. It's going to be called An NPC's Life. Hey, look, you're an NPC. Whatever the people in the top are in the mood for, they do whatever they want. So, a dog's life. You literally, they should have done like a sheep's life. They could have done like, we the benevolent people at the top, we're good shepherds for you people. We care about you. Trump's over there playing fucking GTA 5, driving around doing whatever the fuck he wants. I gotta find a paint shop so I can change my color of my car, lose a couple stars, then go do whatever the fuck he wants again. Or it's the liberal media. The liberal media just made all that up. The scary thing is when you realize the liberal media is also part of GTA 5. Weren't the radio stations and all that part of the game? Once you realize the liberal media is actually part of GTA 5, then you really get scared, because then you're like, not only is this GTA 5, it's, even the supposed liberal media, just another tool of the person who comes here to have fun at you, the NPC's expense. 80% of people in this, 98% of people in this world literally do not even have the ability to hear things. They are literally NPCs. I mean, they can't hear anything. They just have a script. See, you're stealing Westworld again. Come on, that's Westworld, isn't it? I mean, whatever. It's fun. At least I'm having some fun here. Before Brock Lesnar chokes me out to death, I'll see if I can last 5 minutes. 2 minutes, 1 minute, 3 minutes. Yeah, in that movie, they're playing chess, which is physically not very exerting. In real life, it's a 300-pound person trying to choke you to death. Put you in a chokehold, right? Nice. Oh, man. You are sweaty. No wonder they think you're crying. You're just sweating. Ugh. Secretly tears. I need to be like David Foster Wallace, get like a fucking bandana for my head or something. Sweat bandana. I mean, you don't have hair, right? You have like no hair on your head because you buzz it, so it's not sticking in there because of that. How do I get more evaporation? It's the fucking South, man. It's all humid. Like the liquids do not they don't evaporate. They just pool on my face. How do you make something less humid? Is that possible? Because, the South is very humid. There's a lot of water in the air. Huh. A lot of water in the air? You turn that into some sort of, something. I don't know. Do 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 do. Dee dee da dee da dee dee da dee da do. Is there a place to eat? Let's get some protein. 30%, 60% protein, 30% carbs. A hamburger. 50-50. Fat. You want some fat in there. So third fat, third protein, third carbs. I could use that. That'd be tasty. McDonald's was closed, right? You walked by them just now, right? When I was a kid, McDonald's was open all the time. Now no one cares. Why is that? Why can't they stay open anymore? That's weird. With these online apps, you'd think they'd have it they get more business. Like it's 2 o'clock. You want a fucking hamburger, you get on your phone and you're like, I want 5 Whoppers or Big Macs, and then somebody delivers it at 2:30. But no, they close. Do 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 do. Dee da dee da dee da do 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 do. Christmas Eve is coming soon, now you dear old man. Whisper what you'll bring to me, tell me if you can. Damn, I am sweaty. Fuck it, now I'm all self-conscious about my sweatiness because of that fucking asshole. What a fucking jackass. I never even thought about it till now. All this sweat makes me look like some sort of female. Is there a way to make yourself sweat less? Is there a trick for this? The cop made fun of me, so I started wearing a baklava to walk around with a ski mask on. And then I got arrested for having a ski mask on. Because, I didn't want to look sweaty. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. On the one hand, you can accept God's grace. And then on the other hand, if you do that, you're basically sucking the dick of a fucking faggot piece of dog shit creator who created your existence just for his own amusement. You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. It's a lose-lose situation. You can't win, It's I'm telling you, it's a lose-loser. I'm allergic to kissing boots. Sorry, can't lick them. I have an aversion to it. I'd rather get a bullet in the head. Do 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 dee da do do dee da dee da do dee da do dee da do 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 dee da. So I had this one thought. I was thinking of I don't know if this is a good idea, but it's an attempt to be intellectual. What creates openness versus closedness? Because technically, if you own something, you always, in a certain way, I think of conservatives as being they always own something. And I was thinking about 100 years ago would be the year 1925. There's probably some guy on Cypress Creek who owns 100 acres of land on Cypress Creek, right? There's probably some guy like that, right? 100 years ago, people were playing on Cypress Creek, probably, right? Someone was having fun down on Cypress Creek. And people today, you can still go down there and have some fun, right? So on a certain level, things don't change. You can own something and it has value over time. On the other hand, something like a computer from 20 years ago is completely worthless. Say a computer from 2005, Pentium 1, Pentium 2, Pentium 3, probably a Pentium 3, Pentium 4, not worth anything right now. I don't know if this is, I'm trying to work out a thought. I don't have the thought fully developed. I'm trying to work the thought out. So, what was the idea? Oh, and then you were thinking of like why are there openness and closeness? You know, I don't know. I can't explain it right now. I have to meditate on this one a little longer. Man. Oh shit. Yeah, the human brain is evolved to take losses harder than it takes wins. Also, how do you assign wins and losses? You know, how do you assign a value to a win and a value to a loss? With money, it could be easy. You know, it could be like, lost $100, gained 200. But you're going to remember the loss harder than the win because the human brain is programmed to remember losses harder than wins. I don't know. Or maybe it's a certain brain thing. You know, like some people it would be a evolutionarily more conservative in their gambling. Some people less gambly in their evolutionary DNA-ish sort of thing. You got me. I don't know. I already told you. I've said this before, right? Like some of this is just working it out as you go. It's not. I don't have the answer. I don't even know what half the shit is. Is there a potato I can get? I want a potato. Is there anything I can eat? You'd have to go into a bar. I'm not going into a fucking bar. Is there a stand? Do they have a stand downtown that serves food? There's one in Tuscumbia. They have a stand. It's like an ice stand, kind of like that Miami Ice, not Vice. But it's downtown, I think. Crystals, some Crystals chili cheese fries. Could you make it to Crystals? Would they serve you? Could you walk through the drive-thru? I don't think so. Some chili cheese fries would be good though. Here's a castle for some fucking reason. Florence has a castle. Don't ask me what the fuck's going on there. You people are insane. Or I'm insane. Or both. Or me. Or both. Castle. It's not really a castle, is it? Is it that structurally sound? I don't know. Maybe. Whisper what you'll bring to me. You know, you could try doing like a non sequitur with a cop, you know, because they do the fake friendly thing, and something about that pisses me off. The fake friendliness. You just want to they want to waste my time with fake friendliness. I want to creep them out, you know. I want to. How's it going tonight? Hey, buddy, I'm just like you. I was made in God's image. We both went to Epstein's Island, and you know, we both, did our business. But then they arrest you for that because, you know, they'd say that's probable cause probably. So, because he was going to go darker, but I'm not going to say that. And then it's like, okay, they really are just hassling you because, you know, I have to. It takes a lot of mental energy to not want to defend myself mentally from some phony baloney pretending to be. I got to figure out a way to solve this problem. Yeah, that was one of the thoughts I had. It was, there's problems in this world you can't solve, right? Like, you know how, you can know a problem and not solve it. And I'm trying to think of a way to solve it. And you can't solve it. And that's the thing you have to... I don't want to accept that, though. You know, I've got that Frankenstein thing in me. You know, there's, if you really care about the Holocaust, you could build a time machine, go back in time and, do it yourself. If you really care about, if the South should have really won, build a time machine, go back and give Robert E. Lee some AKs. But you people don't really care. You pretend to care, but you don't. Kramer Way. That's the first time I've noticed that. Kramer Way. Is this really Kramer's Way? Huh. It's very light. Not as heavy as it looks. Thought it would be heavier. Kind of plasticky. Kind of, not plasticky, just light. It looks heavier than it is. Public bidet. Come on down to the Florence public bidet and get your butt clean. What are you doing there, boy? I'm using the public bidet. Good job. Make sure you... It's very important to use the public bidets. Is there food around here? Is there food around here? Man, you're a little... I mean, you're not that hungry, are you? I mean, I don't know. Go run through the Myst. Myst, a video game called Myst. How to tell if a person is an NPC. Do they play video games? If a person plays video games, you wouldn't go into a video game to play a video game. So that's how you know. It's one of the ways you can tell if someone's an NPC or not. Or a real person. Do they play video games? Because you wouldn't go into a video game and play a video game. Wow, very cheesy. Man, I want some cheesy pizza or some pepperoni pizza. Is there any pizza places? How about... What food? Walmart's closed. They close at 11. What is there? So, if I had a car that I was driving around, I'd always, if I was thinking in the future, I'd always have a couple cans of soup in there. And a box of granola bars. That way you could always have, like, an emergency meal. Is it Taco Bell's? There's like fourth meal? Fourth meal? You have a meal in your car, some cans of soup, and a box of granola bars. It's called fourth meal in your car. Fifth meal? Fourth meal. Do 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 do. Oh yeah. Public defecation, public flatulence. You have been charged with public flatulence. Do 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 dee da do do dee do 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 Dee da doo 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 dee. Does that one bar serve a potato right now, do you think? That fucking one place got me hungry for a potato. Doo 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 doo. A barbecue potato. Might be tasty. That's kind of funny. It's not a funny. It's funny in a like a bad person. So okay, never mind. Don't do it. The joke was going to be no matter how many cops you kill, they just respawn. This is GTA. But that makes me sound like I'm. It's not my actual motivation. I was just I was thinking about that for some reason. It's not even that funny. It's funny to me, but not. It was going back to the you can't change things thing, right? Like, I need to get 80 good people. I need an entourage of 80 people armed to the teeth. That way I can, go mono. They'll just call the governor, right? And the governor will send. There's the Lauderdale County Police, probably. There's the state. It escalates very quickly. I started off with an entourage of 5, armed to the teeth. They had 10 cops, 20 cops show up, SWAT team. Then I had an entourage of 80. I tried to figure out how big the Florence police was. It was like 80, guesstimate, 40,000 times 2.2 is 90. 0.2, what is 20% of 40? 20% of 5 times 8 is 40. 5 times 8 is... I can't do math right now. I'm too high on drugs. There's 2 cops. Look at them. Little sassy little faggots. Whispering sweet nothings to each other. I wonder if it's like is it one's the subordinate, one's the... I wonder why they do that. Don't they have radios? They don't want to use their radios too. They're not talking shop. They're talking wives. They're talking about prostitutes they fuck. I don't. Why do they talk like that? Serious question. Why do they talk like that? Because I've seen that many times in my life. And that's not the first time I've seen face to face. Maybe it's no more Skype calls. No more. You want to go this way? Can I make this? Technically, you're breaking the rule, I think. I'm going to go down farther this way and wait a second. I think, how do I do this legally? Go now. Go now, go now, go now. Oh, it's the recon. Wow, this is the cool place to be. He's doing a U-turn. He's gonna fuck me. How do I do this? I'm gonna go down this way and go behind them. I'm gone. Good. Oh, there's no action. Last Sunday, 10 cop cars, nothing. Silent as can be. Ooh, I want a slushie. Do they have a barbecue potato around here? It's Saturday morning, 2 o'clock, 1:37. If I was gonna get a barbecue potato, it would be here. Yeah, I'm not going in there. Too many people. Biker gangs. It's not a biker gang, that's just bicyclists. He's being sarcastic or disingenuous. Do you think these are real gas lights? I've touched this before. It's actually kind of hot. What if they had a way of making fake gaslights? You know how there's like fake, it looks just like a real gaslight. You normally tell the difference. Is there a way to make a fake flame? Cop truck. What is that, 5 for 1? 1 for 5? 5 SUVs, 1 truck. You want to jump this? How do you want to do this? I don't like it when the cops near me. It makes me nervous. Like I'm scared to jaywalk all of a sudden. It becomes a big pussy. Fucking pussy. So I'm gonna do it in the middle of the street. I wonder what the legality of that is. Did I break more of a rule or less of a rule by coming down here to jaywalk? Or should I have just done it at the intersection? I don't know. That guy, he didn't get arrested. And he's a colored folk too, so. Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Wow, that's not good. Car accident, bank robbery. Sit here, right here, and sit down for a second. But he's walking too slow, and I want to walk behind someone. Why would I? All part of my master plan. They went after the, I wonder what it was. Okay, you want to cut over here? How do you want to do this? The guy's walking too slow, and I can't walk behind him. So I'm going to go this way. Is there a concert over here? I can make this, I think. Auto speakers, menswear. Home loans that fit to a. I was looking at the pizza. She had like $5 as a pizza. I want pizza or food. Here's a big rocking chair. Insane people with a big rocking chair. What else you got? Stage.
Bro!
Okay, now you gotta get to the other side because there's so many people. Damn it. You have to walk through here. There's a person. There's a car. 2 o'clock? 150? 141. More gas lights. Nice. Is it hot? Is it a real one? Is it AI? A little warm, not hot. A little warm. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. There's a Billard's place. I want some pizza, man. That lady with the 5 pizza boxes. I'm hungry. Do they have food here? What do they have? Corn dogs? What do they have at is that Billard's place back there, or is it up here? What do they have food wise? They're closed. I do have chicken. I can eat chicken at home. That'd be pretty tasty. Cop truck. I think there's only one. I bet there's only 2 of them at most. There can't be more than like 2 trucks. 80 people. How many trucks do they have? How many SUVs? Half the people, they probably have 2 shifts. 3 shifts? 2 shifts? So what do you think their motor pool is? It's got to be 50 at most. 50. They can't have more than 50 in their pool with 80 people. Because 80 divided in half would be 40, and then I wonder if they have an arms room. I wonder how nice their arms room is. Wow, you are a little devious little fucker, aren't you? Yeah, I forgot I was doing a Terminator 1 joke. The Terminator 1, he goes to the police station, but I'm made out of human flesh, which sucks, Technically, you have made the joke before that you are a T800, but I'm not. I was bluffing. I actually am made out of calcium and water, and my bones are made out of calcium, right? They break pretty easy. But it'd be pretty cool if I was a T800. I could probably take out 80 cops if I was made out of titanium. I need one of them 40 giga watt plasma rifles. So what do you think? It's 80? Half a cop for every, a vehicle for every 2 cops? Because, you have 2 shifts probably, so they don't have more than 40. So probably 2 trucks, 1 truck, maybe 30 SUVs, 20, 30 SUVs, 10 cars. They have an RV. They have a helicopter. They probably have a helicopter they can rent from the Quad Cities. There's probably a Quad City police helicopter rental service. Now, if I was the police commissioner, I would buy the drones, because drones would be $3-4K each. You could get some good coverage with that, $20K in drones. A $2,000 drone, a nice one that could stay up for 4-6 hours. You could get some value out of that. You're doing a drug bust, you're doing a warrant. You're, delivering a warrant. You have a drone overhead. That'd be worth it. Get them squirters. What do they call them, squirters? What do they call them? I need some food. 2.2, I don't know. Does that include Lauderdale County? And because that's an FBI statistic. 2.2 per 10K per K. Doesn't matter. Now we just need to get some titanium bones and a what did he even have in that thing? What guns? I don't know the guns that were in Terminator 1. Was it? Doesn't matter. That's thinking like the past. You got to think in the future. I have 0 guns. I'm like, okay, they already did that. Tony Stark did that in that one Iron Man movie where he's got like 100 Iron Man suits flying around. So you're just going to do a drone joke? Stolen, unoriginal. In the trash it goes. 150 drones overhead. That'd be pretty fucking cool, actually. And then you put your weapons on the drones. You know how like P Diddy was famous in the '90s for having a 9mm or a 45, and he'd pass it off to someone else, and that person would go to jail for him. That's like the rappers always did that, right? Like if they wouldn't have the gun, they'd give the gun to someone else if they got in trouble, and then that person would take the fall. You know, P Diddy had drones, right? I have drones overhead. I don't have human drones. I have armed flying drones. That's when things are gonna get tight. That's gonna be fucking dope. When I'm tired of these human drones. I want my drones flying overhead. And then they just self-destruct. If you want them to self-destruct, they just blow up in the sky, maybe. You don't have to, you know, because when P. Diddy sent that one guy to jail for him for the gun charge, he probably had to pay the guy's family money and stuff, you know. He had to pay him. If the guy went to jail for 10 years, he had to pay him $50, $100K a year, maybe, to take the charge. Stupid P. Diddy didn't know that you could just use robot drones. Poor P. Diddy. What the fuck is that? Sure, what the fuck is that? Is that a car? There's some interesting wheels. How do they get the electricity to the wheels on that system? Is it like is there a way to, you can wirelessly charge things now, right? Does it use that same system where like they wirelessly send electricity to the wheels? Because the wheels rotate. And you know, if you had a wire, there's probably a way. I'm not an electricity expert. And then the moon is tinier. It was like half yesterday. So what is it? The 17th? 16th, 17th, 18th? What is today? Do 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 da 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 do da da. See, the premise of the dirty part of that joke is you're supposed to put two and two together and go, he's actually trying to diagram how powerful the Florence Police Department is and what would it take to actually take them out. But, you know, it's he's doing it nonchalantly. I think they respawn. I don't think you can do it. It's like GTA. Funny. Do 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 da da do da dee da da do da dee da da do da dee. So how are you doing this? You going back Railroad Road? You going to Helton? You going to Derby? How are you getting back? Because I don't think you want to do a 3. You're not doing a 4 hour. You're doing like a 2.5. 3 hour. You're doing a 3 hour thing, I think. You want to do the churches? You can do the churches by Big Lots. Go down that road. Cut over go by the annex. Annex to churches to, is it Derby? I can't remember the name. Is it Derby? I think it's Derby. Just a repeat. It's a repeat of what you did that other night, right? It's called a pattern. It's called a, life repeats. It's a geometric pattern. It's just repeats over and over. It's like the moon, or Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. It's just a, pattern. Very nice. I need to talk to a lawyer about like when are you technically allowed to fight another human being? Like what are the rules for that? Because I need to understand that from a legal perspective, because I don't have that one hardwired into my brain correctly. Maybe if I got that, I could get some advantages here. When are you legally allowed to? Because the one thought I was having was, you could try doing the sovereign citizen thing where you just walk away, right? With a cop, you just walk away. You call yourself a sovereign citizen. I think they just tase you if you do that. If I did that, I don't have a window. In the sovereign citizen case, you don't roll your window down, and then as a walker, you just, the cop would stand in front of you. You'd go like this and get around them, and then they'd eventually pull a taser out, probably, right? It's a motorcycle, actually. I thought it was a car. Very loud. I'm gonna get demonetized for that asshole. Did you know that if you're a cop and you pull someone over, one trick to not getting put on YouTube is you put music that is copyrighted over your event, and then they can't put it on YouTube. So I'm about to get that's a plant. I'm about to get beat up by cops, and then I'm not going to be able to upload it to YouTube because, they're playing copyrighted music. So you got to be looking for them. You got to think ahead. You got to ask yourself, what's happening right now? Why is that guy playing music very loudly? Turn your lights on, buddy. Do 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 do. If I was biking, I'd go down to East Florence, but it's a lot slower to walk. So I think I'm just gonna, and then I'll go biking. You want to go biking when you get back? Maybe. I gotta eat. Something. What can I eat? Chicken sandwich with cheese, popcorn, Gatorade, water. That guy was the guy who was buried. He was framed. I don't know who he was, but I'm just gonna say he was framed. Just because, just to be a contrarian. The guy who was he was probably a terrible person. How many people did that guy kill? Do you remember? You've read that sign before. How many people did he kill? What did he do? They buried him under the street, and now every day, thousands, tens of thousands of people drive over him. This city was built on the corpses of criminals? He wasn't a criminal. He was a hero. Huh. Ugh. Funny. Yeah, you should have learned that guy's. You don't remember the guy's name by Creekwood, not Creekwood, Cypress Creek. Remember the slave turned the guy in and he got $100 or something? Good job, slave. Here's $100. And then as soon as he gives him the $100, he takes the $100 back. He's like, "You're my slave. That's my money." That would be probably bad for morale. If you were a slave owner and you gave your slave $100 and then you immediately took the $100 back, probably not good for morale. Huh. Like some guy walks up, he gives him and then the guy, it's the guy with the whip comes right afterwards and just takes the 100 out of his hand. That'd be kind of amusing. It's an amusing skit. But if you're gonna do that skit, you'd have to have a white person, and then you'd have to know a darkie, and so then you'd have to get him some clothing, and you could do like Florence skits, and the skit would be, "Good job, you turned in," and then it was the guy who he supposedly killed a couple hundred guys, right? The Cypress Creek criminal guy, and then the slave's like, "He's here," and he lures him in, and then the skit would be, "Good job, slave. Here's your $100." And the guy with the whip would walk by 10 seconds later and take the $100 out of his hand and then give it back to the guy who gave him the $100. Probably. That would be the skit. You'd have to have some clothing that's, relevant to whatever people wore back then. You have to get like a Indiana Jones whip. I do need an Indiana Jones whip. I did always want an Indiana Jones whip. Gives me an excuse to. I bet those whips are like $100 at least, right? Like Google Indiana Jones whip. How much? $100, $200. And then you have to oil it. You probably have to oil it, and there's a whole maintenance thing. It's way more work than it's worth. Just grab a piece of rope and then write a whip on it. A lot easier to do. So that makes any event in life seem more interesting. He's walking around, but in his head he's playing the Indiana Jones theme. So you think this is boring, but I'm walking around throwing a whip around. I'm jumping over ravines. I'm dun da da dun dun da dun. Dun da da dun dun da 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 dun da da dun da da dun da da dun da da 2 o'clock. You gonna get 2:02? Yeah, you got 60 seconds to reach there. 2:02, 2:02, 2:02, 2:01. Come on, 2:01. I always like to make sure time is going forward. There you go. I'm always scared time has secretly stopped. I don't think it has, but because it says 2:02 now. It said 2:01. I think time is going forward. Local man reports, time is moving forward. Here's a paranoid thought. So, how do I do this? How do I segue into this one? I don't know how to segue into it. 2:03. Time is going faster than I thought. I thought it was slower than that. Thought I heard something. I'm going paranoid. He's paranoid. He's paranoid. I need some cocaine. If I had some cocaine, I wouldn't be so paranoid. I would be more paranoid. What was that, 5 or 6 for 1? 6 for 1, no cars, no boats, no RVs. Another 7 for 1, 7 for 1, no RVs, no boats, no yachts. What if you're driving down the street and they had a Florence police, it was like a yacht, and it literally, there's no legitimate reason to have a boat like that, but it said Florence police on it. That'd be kind of funny. Like, 100, 200 foot. How big of a boat can you drive down the street? What's the biggest boat I've ever seen on the street? I'm trying to think of this now. If you move like a big boat, do you hire like an 18-wheeler or something, or how do they do that? They just sail it there? Because you never see like a big sailboat going down because it would get hit on the, what are those things called? Bridges? Most of the boats you see are going to be like speed boats or fishing boats, pontoon boats maybe. What sort of car is that? Oh, that's that guy who lives over by, the big wheels fella. Big wheels, big wheels, big wheels, big wheels, big wheels. Big wheels. Is that really? There statistically could be more than just that car. There's got to be. That seems like one of those cars a lot of people do. $40,000. Statistically, how many people would have big wheels on a? There's probably like 10. There's probably 5 or 10 Teslas in the city, and there's only one truck that I know of. How many? Maybe 10 Teslas? 5? Probably at least 5 of the electric ones. I kind of want an electric car now. Electric? See, here's the thing with those electric bikes and motorcycles. Can you kind of get away with not getting a license plate? The electric, remember that guy who was on the electric razor? Do you have to get insurance for that? Do you have to get insurance for an electric, because the motorcycle, the bike, a road bike can be turned into an electric bike pretty easily. You can do it for like a couple $100. Probably 100, 200. But you don't have to have insurance for that. You don't have to get a license plate. But you could get a good amount of the, you could use roads. When does it become something you have to have a license plate for? And insurance. Because I have a road bike and I don't have to pay insurance on that. Which is, and I use these roads quite a bit. Quite a bit. I'm a freeloader. I freeload like a motherfucker. Go in there and get some food. I'm a cult leader. I need some food. What do they have in there? If you were going to get something in there, what would you get? Do you think they have like? Do you think they have their fried chicken and stuff out? Because they could make money on a Friday night and a Saturday night. They could make fried chicken and sandwiches, and they might be able to make a profit because you have to have so much business to do to keep the fried chicken out, right? Yeah, I think they have catfish, maybe. You could get. I don't want any junk food though. I want some like real food. I want like a roast beef sandwich I want a fucking Firehouse sub. I want a Firehouse sub. Is there a way to get a Firehouse sub? You could break into Firehouse and make a Firehouse sub, but then you'd have to learn how to use their machines. I have no clue how to use their machines, so that's probably not gonna work. What can I do? So, this is whenever I get lost, I come down here. They're telling me it's Saturday. It's the 19th. I had no clue it was the 19th. I thought it was like the 17th. Man, thank you, Bob Wallace. Funny. This place is opening. They have coupons now. It's like $15 a meal, $8 for the kebab or whatever by itself, or not a kebab. What is the Greek food called? It's called a Shishwana? I don't know, something stupid, right? It's like $8, and then it's like $15 for a big meal. And that's with coupons, right? Or is that a menu? Was that a menu or coupons? Timmy Tums, Tum Tums, Tim Tims, Tom Toms, Tom Tom, Scott Scott, Tim Tim, Tom Tom. Timmy Tims? Tom Toms? What is it called? Timmy, is it like Three Ninjas? Wasn't there like Three Ninjas and then there was that one fat one? The fat ninja was called like Tom Tom or Tim Tim. I'm not walking over there. That's way too much work. Burger. What? They serve burgers, wings, gyros, Phillies, and burgers. Let's say burgers. Whatever, that's weird. You ever had a world famous Greek burger? Some alcohol? Can I get some alcohol? They're closed. Could break in there and get some beer, maybe. Want some beer? A little bit. It'll give you calories. Beer does have some calories in it. How many calories does a beer have? A normal beer. I'm not that light beer shit. Here's a good question. If you're trying to get drunk and you don't want to, put on excessive calories, is it better to get the 6% or the light? Can you get drunk? What's the lowest calorie way to get drunk? I'm an alcoholic, but I like to watch my weight. 4% versus 6%. So you have to drink, for every 2 beers, would it be? Is the math right on that? Would that be correct that for 3 light beers is equal to 2 light beers or 2 normal per alcohol content? I mean, my gut reaction is that's right, but I'd have to do the actual math on that, right? Is that correct math? 3 light beers at 4%, would that equal 2 ice beers at 6? 24 ounces at 6% would be 24 times 6 is 5 would be, I can't do this math. This is too much math. You have a notepad in your pocket. Do you have a pen? You have a phone, you could turn your video off and do the math. Four times 36 is... Okay, do it like... How do you want to do this then? Yeah, I think it's supposed to be 2 for 3. I'll do that when I get back. I'm sweaty. I'm crying. I can't do this right now. I'm crying. I can't think straight. I'm filled with estrogen. When I'm filled with estrogen, I can't do math. Because as a male, you know. So where are you going to cut over? You and ANX to the churches. Or you could do Helton to, then you have to walk by Monarch. You have to follow the side of the street. It's kind of dangerous. Yeah, you and ANX to churches to, yeah, that'll work. Didn't Wolverine have he had titanium bones? I need to get some titanium bone. Is it adamantium, not titanium? Do you think they have anything that goes to titanium? What do you think their highest caliber weapon is? They have some 308s probably. They probably got some 308. Do they have anything bigger than 308? Maybe some breaches. They can breach some doors, maybe. I wonder what their capabilities are. In the city of Florence, do you think there's a guy who has an elephant gun, and they know the guy with the elephant gun? So even if you had something that was big enough to stop whatever they know the guy who owns the elephant gun. They know the Tremors guy. You ever see the movie Tremors? There's that nut job with a 50 cal rifle or something. Do 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 da da do da da. 50 cal rifle. Well, you can't get body armor that'll stop that. A vehicle maybe. Starbucks. Fuddruckers. Do they have Fuddruckers? Did I go out of business? He's thinking of that movie Idiocracy, where they changed the name of Fuddruckers to something fuckers. What year did that movie take place? I mean, in the future, not. It came out 2006, right? So then what year in the future was it? 100? 50? Is crystals still open? I want some crystals. Do 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 dee da do dee dee da do da da dee da do. They have to hot bunk the vehicles, right? Hot bunk them. Seven, eight for one. What were you at, 7 or 8? I think it was 8. Some of those could be repeats because they could have been circling back. You could drive by their motor pool. That makes you come off crazy. This is meant to be a joke. It's not meant to be serious. I'm not actually trying to figure out. I mean, I am, but on a very rough way. Capabilities are an interesting capabilities determine what something is. It's like playing poker, you know, you have what your hand is determines how you play. Have you seen the new police HK drones? They have flying silver plasma thingies. The rolling droids from the Phantom Menace with their shield generators. How about that? I need a shield generator. How much does a shield generator cost? For some reason you were thinking of that really, really stupid, man, your stuff is terribly unfunny. You thinking of this, there's this anime he once watched where the humans have cyborg brains, and they have perfect physical, you know, so like my hand shakes. I can't, not shakes like, I'm not fucking Hitler with Parkinson's, but you know, I'm not a perfect metal stand. And you know, if you had a cyborg body, you could hold a more, I mean, even a metal exoskeleton probably sways a little bit, but the human body has, like, you know, the heartbeat, etc., etc. Whereas a T-800 would have, or you know, a cyborg body would have perfect non-swaying action, so you could have your brain perfectly connected to your weapon, right? It would be like a battleship. During World War II, they had computers the size of rooms. They would put numbers in. You know, you could have that in your brain. Because, you know, a World War II computer is now... My cell phone is more powerful than a World War II. All the computers in World War II, my cell phone is probably more powerful than... I'm making that up. I don't think that's true, but... You know, the power of my cell phone is equal to... I don't know, maybe a tenth of all the computers in the world during World War II? I don't know. I don't have the actual numbers. I'm spitballing here. Oh, well, so if your body was made out of metal and you had perfect... He wants to say trigonomic, but it's not. It's a trajectory, wind. You could get perfect shots using your T-800 / cyborg body. Huh, it's not that interesting. If you get a cyborg brain, can you slow down time? Can you set autopilot tasks? Could you be like, I'm not really paying attention, and then you write the program and then it just does it for you, but you don't actually think about it. Your heartbeat. I'm not going heartbeat, heartbeat, heartbeat. I have a subroutine doing heartbeat for me, right? Pretty sure I don't actually think about my heartbeat. Unless I've been doing too much cardio. I gotta remember to make sure my heart is beating. Are you beating, heart? Beat, 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 beat. Make sure, you know, you breathe. 90% of the time you breathe, you don't think about breathing. Do 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 do. Dee da do da dee da da. Here's a brigand. I'm about to get mugged. Hello, brigand. How are you doing today? I do not have any gold or coins, so brigand, 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 brigand. dog up here that always barks at me. That's why I don't like walking this way. You want to cut through? If I cut through here, the dog might not bark at me, but if I got pulled over by a cop, it's more trespassy to be over there than it is to be on the sidewalk. Lose. Here's the, where's the dog barking? It's this one, right? It's that one with the green light. You could have just walked down to Darby. Fuck it. Fuck him. Fuck the dog. Do. And then the tip of my toes, is that like a callus? You don't walk enough anymore. Your toes are getting thin-skinned toes. He walks for 2:30. Is it 33? I can't even tell. He walks for 2:33 and his toes hurt. What a bitch. You know, dog. That's nice. Do 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 da do do da day. Need to learn some big bullshit words. Are there any good bullshit words I can learn? Do 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 dee da do dee da do dee 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 da do dee da dee da do do dee dee da 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 do dee da do dee da boop a doop boop boop boop. That's kind of funny. What's a menacing song you can whistle? How many menacing songs? There's the Imperial March. You've got what is the one from the Breakfast Club is I don't know what that's from. That's Beethoven or something, right? Then there's, what else could you do? Menacing. What's a menacing? What's a menacing whistle? And then you got, do-do-do-do-do, do-do-do-do. I don't think that's a menacing song though. Do-do-do-do-do-do, da-da-da-do-da-dee. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-da, do-da, do-do-do-do-do-do-do-da-dee. Turn this into a rave. Do like it's a figure eight, kind of an infinity sign. Get some light sticks. Go around, walking around for 2-3 hours a night with glow sticks, doing stupid glow stick on strings things. Liz Cheney. Oh, I thought that was a person. I was biking this morning and I was listening to, it was what's Elon Musk's friend? The Jewish Russian guy. Who's the AI guy? Who's the Russian Jewish AI podcaster? And he was talking to that liberal fucker, Ezra Klein. They said, in the South, they're actually very good about building houses. If you go, I got something on my legs, I feel like spider webs. In the South, they're very good about this. They actually have quite a bit of new housing always being built. This Ezra Klein was talking about how you go to like California, they don't build new housing, so the housing system is all fucked up. You could buy a house in the 70s for like 200K or 100K. It's worth like 10 million today. And around here, I don't know what the housing market around here is, but I would guess those houses out by Petersville, 300-400K maybe. They're big houses. As big as these houses, right? Bigger. They're probably bigger. They're nicer in terms of like spaces and stuff. But this is a nicer area in terms of location, right? But there's no housing problem in the South. They're pretty nice about letting people just build houses, which I guess is good. And this liberal fucker was talking about how the liberals need to build more houses. So I'm spotlighting reality. This is very deep. I'm spotlighting reality. Nice. Very. I like this. This is a very cool. I'm like Carrot Top. I got a good. What do you call it? A prop. This flashlight was a good prop. I'm glad I bought it. It spotlights reality. Pretty cool. It's a lot of light. Look how tiny that thing is too. It fits in my hand. It's more powerful than a mag light. It's probably like $10. I mean, I paid $30, but it came in a package. They're probably like $15 on their own. And then I'm gonna have to get rid of those other pieces because they use those little batteries, those little hearing aid batteries, they cost $2. Whereas this thing is rechargeable, so it'll last a year or two, maybe a year. And then, yeah, so I was like, I just went and bought I bought a bicycle light that's rechargeable, so I don't have to buy those fucking batteries. So I'm just gonna get rid of the fucking, maybe give them away on Facebook or something. So they're $2 a light. It takes 2 of them, and that thing's only going to last me 20 hours. So it's $4 for 20 hours of battery. So 4 divided by, what is that? It's $4 for every 20 hours. That's, what is that per? Is that 50 cents? Is that right? 50 cents? No, that's not right. Some number. There's some number that you multiply by 20 to get $4. $4 divided by 20 is 5 cents. 5 times 4 is 20. It's 20 cents an hour. So 20 cents an hour to bike around. And I'm going to leave one of those lights on one night. I've done it before. And, then I'm out $4. So I just spent $12 on a new one that's rechargeable. So, deep investigations into the branches of Florence trees. Huh. Needs to replace that light. Replace that light, buddy. It's a fine. Are there any owls up there? Are there any, I always like it when you can see the light because of the mist. I thought that was cool, like a fog. You can kind of see it, right? Lasers in fog. This thing's not a laser though, it's just a light. Is it that humid that you can sort of see it? I don't know. It's fucking humid. Sweaty. Here's a I don't know, box. Put a horse in there. Do 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 da do da. Huh. So some food. And go bike. You want to go biking again at 5? You biked at 5 this morning. And then that was really cool because you had light and you could go to the parks. Do da do da do 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 da 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 do da day. Do 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 do. Is that what is that song about? Da 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 all night, da 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 all day. Do 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 do. I gotta look up what that song means. So what does that song mean? You gotta go biking. You can't waste your light unless you're gonna. You let it recharge for like 30 minutes, 20 minutes. Eat a sandwich. Drink some Gatorade. Let it recharge for 30 minutes. Then go biking. Oh, I thought I could burp. Do 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 da 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 do da day. Is it like a sing this song do da do da do da? Is it about the stagecoaches? It's a cool light. It's like purple and like if I was gonna trespass, I'd go over there and look at like what sort of light is that. I want to know what sort of light that is. I'm tempted to go I'm not going to, but I want to know what that light is. How do you get that light? It's like a purple light. A bluish purple. It's Asian people, right? Is that Asian shit? Asians, they're spies for Asia. Donald Trump, have them arrested, please. I'll take the light. I'll confiscate it. I'll do research on it. Thank you, Donald. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Da-da-da-do-da-day. If you Google Doodah song, do you think that's the correct song name? What do you think that song's called? Like Doodah song? Doodah song, something night, something day. Day, night, Doodah song. Three miles wide. Funny. Do 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 da do da do 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 da da do da dee da 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 do da dee do da dee dee da do 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 da da do dee da. Yeah, this used to be 2-lane because I'm pretty sure they remodeled that one church and it was like right next to the road. Or was it this? Was it here or was it down there? Where the Broadway? Because it was right next to the road, right? Because it's a very similar kind of, see this shape right here? And it was like muddy clay-ish. And they were putting the road up. I wonder what year they put, what year did they make Derby 4-lane? I wonder if Google can't know that. There's no way. You could have search engines for cities. A city would have a search engine just for that city. What year did Derby become 4-lane? And you could name the city search engine. You could ask it like, what year did Kmart go out of? What year did Kmart move from where PF Fitness is to the new location? What year was Super Walmart made? Could be in the Times Daily. That could. You could get one of those like. This is not a computer, but it looks at, you can look at old Times Dailies. What are those called? The big machines that you put light on them. They're kind of like an X-ray machine, but not an X-ray machine, but an X-ray reader. I wonder what those are called. You people have no clue what I'm talking about. The things that you can look at old. They digitalized it all, right? It all got digitalized. It's all on the internet now. In the old days, you had to go in the old movies. I've never done that. The films. I wonder what that was called. Film type? Film readers? What if you like woke somebody up and you got like I don't think were you above, you're like 40, 50 decibels, right? I don't think you can get arrested for that. I mean, what if you were like literally at 120 and you didn't even realize it? Oh my God, that'd be like the worst. That had to be like 60, right? 60, 50, 40. Get a little mini decibel reader. Mini temperature reader. Rangefinder. I do need a rangefinder just out of curiosity. Sometimes I'm like, I wonder how far that green light is away. Then they're like, hey, he's got a rangefinder. Probably not a good thing to carry around. You have to get the golf rangefinder. And then you wear golf clothes. I'd wear golf clothes and I'd carry around a golf rangefinder. Oh yeah, that's the plan. Very funny. Oh, it's a nut. Let me kick it off the road real quick. I'm here to preach the bad news. Here's the bad news. Elon Musk is a billionaire trillionaire, and he's getting fucking high on fucking K. And you people probably, these people make less than 100K a year, probably. Why are you guys should be on like fentanyl or heroin, right? This guy's like a billionaire. He's like, this place is fucked. I'm gonna go do some K. So the bad news is, I'm the bad news. I'm the messenger of bad news. And the bad news is, everyone should be doing fentanyl and heroin. So, he was microdosing K though, right? He wasn't actually, was he microdosing K or was he doing K like, he wasn't K-holing, right? Was Musk K-holing? I want to fucking K-hole all of a sudden. He's probably just doing light amounts of K, which is probably not the same thing as laying on the ground in a K-hole. There's like microdosing on LSD. Never done LSD, but I wonder what that's like. If you just did, let's say a tab is so many micrograms. Like let's say 10 micrograms is a normal dose. I don't know what the LSD dosage is. And you just did like 1 microgram every day. Would you be like a little more creative? I mean, what would it be like? I'm constantly at half a shot drunk. I have a little thing inside my body. It gives me just enough alcohol in my bloodstream that I'm always at like half a shot of drunkenness. I don't think that's possible. I think your body will become adapted to the drunkenness, and then you need more drunkenness to be half a shot drunk. I don't know. It's a good question. I'll be back. Still doing cop jokes, man. Still doing cop jokes. Always gotta play with fire, I just gotta get that. I gotta get that metal endo or exo. Exoskeleton is outer. Endo is inner. I just gotta get titanium endoskeleton, and like a processor. A T800 weighs like 800 pounds. I think so. I think that's true. If it was a real thing, I don't think they're actually real. Like I was saying earlier, did you know Al Pacino was not actually Scarface? I didn't know that. I thought he really was Scarface. Hulk Hogan, NWO, Donald Trump, Epstein Island, 50 spit roasted? It's called spit roasting. Oh my, I almost stepped on that. That's dumbass. Spit roasting. Split roasting. Split roast. Like when they put a pig over a fire, like in Hawaii. That's spit roasting, right? Or split roasting. Split or spit? Because if it's spit roasting, it's because they stick it in the mouth. But if it's split roasting, it's because they split it in half. What if you would have stepped on that thing? I bet that would have been juicy. And you would have got some on your leg. Was it an armadillo or a cat? Oh, you should pay more attention, buddy. Oh well. So split roasting, spit roasting, spit painting. Spit painting is a form of ASMR where a lady pretends to. That's like spit painting. It means something. I just don't know what yet. I'm going to put the clues together. The pieces will fit eventually. Satan ASMR. Satan dick sucking ASMR. Spit roasting. Spit painting. Spit painting. Satan dick sucking. I There you go. You got to connect it all together, you know, because it's, you know, because Bill Hicks was very angry. He was like, he was doing that. Yours is going to be, hey there, Satan. It's my best ASMR spit painting impression. I'm not very good at it. I think they have like $100 microphones for it. I'm not going to buy a $100 blowjob ASMR microphone. I mean, maybe I already have one. I've been practicing. There's like something on my shoe. There's a piece of straw and it kept hitting my leg. It was very annoying to me. It was kind of I kept thinking of that armadillo that I walked by. I kept thinking, did I step on it? Did I get something on my leg? Like, is there dead armadillo juice on my leg? I don't want dead armadillo juice on my leg. But it was just a piece of hay. Satan dick sucking ASMR. There you go. Do 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 da do da do 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 da. It's called spit painting. It's not called dick sucking ASMR. It's called spit painting. They artistically change what, but it's meant to be implied fellatio. I mean, you people know how the world works, right? You know, you don't actually call things what they are. You put a nice word to it, right? It's called spit painting. It's noises that sound like a lady giving fellatio. That's what it is. But doo-da, doo-da, doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-da-da-doo-da-day. Is that 9 for 1? 9 for 1. 9 SUVs, 1 truck. I need to keep my numbers up better. I should get a little counter, like an abacus or something. Abacus. Cop car abacus. Am I technically trespassing when I walk on this? Maybe. You could get arrested for this. I broke the law and the law won. I broke the law and the law won. To quote Arnold Schwarzenegger in Terminator 1, I shot the entire... Never mind, he was going to do I shot the sheriff, but I did not shoot the deputy. But he's going to do the entire, you know, whatever it's called. Precinct? It's not funny though. It's a little too random, I think. Comes off a little too malicious too. I think they actually had someone try and do that though, so you probably shouldn't make jokes about that. There used to be a place called Kilroy's or a place called Wilson's, and they had some nut job do something there, right? You gotta be careful. Your nut job jokes can get you in trouble if you're not careful. It's a fine line, you know, to balance creativity with, you know, not being not too creative. You can be creative, just not too creative. Don't be too creative. You gotta there's a fence to straddle. There's a dildo to straddle. It's a very fine dildo to straddle. I shot the precinct, but I did not shoot the... What's something bigger than a precinct? I don't think Florence has like the... Precincts is like a New York City thing where like... Or boroughs. They would have like boroughs with precincts and... I mean, technically they might have like... They might have something like I don't know. They have mini stations. That's not a precinct. Because like New York City has like, what, 8 million in Manhattan, so 40,000, 40,000 is Florence, and then New York City, per million, that's 8 million to, 8 million, 2.2 per 8 million would be, per thousand, that's, per million, that's what? 2.2 per thousand, 2.2, so that's, I can't do math without paper, sorry. 1,000, there's 100. Okay, so 100,000 would be 200. 200 per 100,000. And then 200 times 10, 2,000 per million. 2,000 cops per million people. 8 million people in New York City. 2,000 times 8 is 16,000. I think it's bigger than that. I think it's like 40,000, right? I think I've Googled that before. But then again, they have boroughs. And I was just counting Manhattan, right? And in Manhattan, I think it's just 8. If you include the boroughs, doesn't it become like 20, 30 million? Dentists per 1,000 people. Doctors per 1,000 people. Thought I could burp, but couldn't. Okay, so Gatorade, chicken sandwich, charge battery on both things. Bikey. You're gonna have to check the air. I think your air is fucked up on these things. It's leaking air, or you have a hole. Cause remember the bike tire was very low. You have to keep up with your bike tire. You're gonna have to fucking, you think it's the Presta valve, or do you think it's I think it's a hole in the tube? Presta valve leaking on me. Hole in the tube. I don't know. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do, da-da-da-do-da-day. You need a new song to hum. Da 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 do da day, da 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 do da day, da 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 do da day. You should learn to do like a fake child voice. Hey there, mister. You try doing that. He's always trying to come up with new techniques. I'm always trying to come up with new tactics, techniques, and procedures here. Always looking for new tricks. Silly rabbit. Tricks are for me. I'm Tricks the rabbit. Hey there, gee golly, mister. Then you'd have to change characters. I like this character. He's a cooler character. Doing the fake idiot. Gee golly, mister. Oh, gee golly, that's so cool. I haven't seen that 1,000 times. 1,000,000 times. 1,000,000,000,000 times. Gee golly, I've never seen a road before. Gee golly, that's crazy. Oh my, is that a light? Is that a tree? I've never seen a tree before. Jaded. Jaded. You're jaded. You need to pretend to be a child. Pretend you're seeing this for the first time. Gee golly, it's a light. Gee golly, it's a mailbox. Huh. It could work. You could try it. Is there a drug that makes you like literally a child? You could just, walk around. This is the first time I've ever seen a trash can before. It's called, it's a new drug. I'm always looking for new drugs to invent. You did this joke a long time. It's called tabula rasa, right? A blank slate. Tabula rasa, tabula. Who wants to buy some tabula rasa? I got some tabula rasa for sale. You snort it. What were the other ones you had? You had tabula rasa. Sounds like a Mexican drug, like a tabula rasa. It's actually Latin, right? It's a Latin drug. Latin American, comes from Colombia. What were the other ones? That was like 5-6 months ago. You were making up drugs. Tabula rasa. And then there's, then you were going through the fake ones. There's, whatever the Alex Jones one is. And there's, what is Alex? The gland? It's a gland. And then there's, well, I'm out of ideas. That was a good walk. Got my exercise in. Kept my insanity at bay. It's important to keep one's insanity at bay. Otherwise, I'd have to go play Black Ice probably, or Road to 56. I'd probably play Road to 56. It really does. It makes the Soviet Union quite a bit stronger. Road to 56 does, because it increases build speed a bunch, and it gives a bunch of like modifiers. Most of the modifiers are positive modifiers, so I would recommend it. It makes the Soviet Union more powerful. It makes most countries more powerful, I guess, technically, but my memory was it made the Soviet Union quite a bit more powerful. Road to 56. I don't know. I tried playing Black Ice Russia. I was terrified. It was hard. So I guess that's the end of this.